In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of how to work with the Canon EOS M in a low light scenario. So all the footage that we're going to be working with in this video was shot with this setup, which is a Tokina 11-16 lens, Viltrox focal reducer, Canon EOS M, deity microphone, and this whole setup was actually shot at between ISO 400 and 800 on the EOS M, and it was night. Some areas are well lit, some areas are not. In order to apply noise reduction, you're going to need something called Neat Video Noise Reduction. It's a plugin that is available for Premiere and other editing platforms, and it is very good, so I would highly suggest that you get it. I've been using it for years, and this is my go-to for that. And so I'm going to walk you through the process of how to work with the low light footage. How do I export and grade in a way that has worked really well for me. So let's get started. Step one is for you to copy all your files over and bring them into the MLV app, essentially. Basically organize my footage as the following. So I go ahead and create a project file. So in this case, I just create the year, the month, the date, what it's for, and what the project itself is. I create two folders, a final and project folder. This is where I'm going to be saving the Premiere as well as the MLV app project file. And then I copied all of the raw files from the MLV Raw on the Canon EOS M into this folder right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the converted footage and bring it here. Go ahead and open up MLV app. Once it loads, I want you to go ahead and click on the, that's the export, to import a MLV file into this session. That's what we're going to do. So go ahead and click that and then find the folder, which is here, MLV Raw, highlight all of them and enter. And all of it will be brought into the system. Now, and you'll notice this is some of that footage. Some of it is well lit. Some of it is got some dark situations, like this area is not very well lit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and highlight all of it, and I'm going to look at export settings, Cinema DNG uncompressed, and I click on close, making sure that setting is there. Export all of these files, find where it's going to go, which is the Cinema DNG folder right here, and then I go and select folder. And one by one, all of these files are going to be exported. And so, and this is actually really fast. At least it is fast for me because it's a relatively fast computer, but it's not doing any processing. It's literally taking all that raw footage, converting it to Cinema DNG so that I can edit in Premiere. So step two is importing the stuff into Premiere, and this is how it goes. Once your export is complete, you want to go ahead and open up Adobe Premiere or whatever your editing app is, but specifically this tutorial, we're going to be using Premiere. Now, there is a caveat when it comes to working with Cinema DNG files. That caveat is the fact that you're going to have to import each file one by one. So I'm going to walk you through that process. So, all right, so once you open up Premiere, you want to go ahead and create a new project. So go ahead and click on Browse. And then from here, let's go over to where the project is saved, which is my 2022 hard drive. And then go to project folder. And then I select folder and I press save. Let's call this EOS M Low Light. You can call the project whatever you want to name it. So I click OK. So what we're looking at here is the layout for assembly. And so we're going to do everything in this layout between assembly and color to keep things simple. So here's the process for importing. First thing you want to do is click on import and then go to where the files are located, which is right here. EOS M Low Light, Cinema DNG, folder 1, and then just go ahead and double click that first file, and you'll notice that that file is now located right here. Boom, good to go. Click on import, and we're just going to do this same thing for each of the files. Now, it's not too bad in the sense that we don't have a lot of files here, but this process, because you're importing raw DNG files, I think it's worth it. So I've imported all my files. You'll notice that the first file and the last file don't have any audio, and the reason for that is I had forgot to empty out the SD card. This is something you should always be cognizant of, is always empty out your SD card before you begin your recording session with Magic Lantern. Otherwise, you're gonna run out of space, and when it runs out of space in the process of recording, you're gonna lose the audio file, which is fine, which is not what we're going for here. Anyway, so go ahead, right click, new item, sequence, create a sequence. And then from here, you're gonna see a little dialog box pop up. I just go ahead and pick any one, doesn't matter. And what I do is a little cheat sheet, is I import a regular 4K file from maybe a previous project or something, because I like to edit in a 4K timeline. So here's a 4K file, little drone shot or something. Boom. And then just drag and drop that 4K file into the timeline, change the sequence settings, boom. Now we're exactly where I wanted the sequence to be at. So what we're gonna do here is just highlight and drag all of the files right into the timeline. Boom, we're done. Delete that original file, and then press and hold Alt to expand the timeline. Same thing here, press and hold Alt and scroll up wheel for that timeline. So Control A, X, Control V, bring everything all together. Press the backslash or the forward slash, I don't know, one of those slashes to fully fill out the timeline. So what we're gonna do is, now you'll notice these clips, they're not all the same, right? They're different. So you'll notice that some of them are different resolutions, different sizes, because I was playing around with different modes, right? So for all intents and purposes, what we're just gonna do is go to the effect control panel, right? So select the file, go to the effect control panel, and expand this all the way, right? Until, so right now it's at 221, right? So if I go to 220, no, it doesn't fill up the whole thing. As you'll notice here, there's a little bit of a black space. So I'll go ahead and go to 221, boom, right? If I expand this out all the way, it seems to fill it up. If I go to 222 versus, yeah, so 221 is the right size for this file. So what I'm gonna do is select that, and I do Control C for the thing, and I'm just gonna make a note of which of these, so not this one, so everything up until here, highlight, Control V. In terms of size, this is gonna be a slightly different size, so go ahead and drag, increase the size of this until, so that's 153, not 150, question mark, nope, not 152, right? Right? Nope, it is 153 accurately. So 153, and you'll see why I extend the size of the file into the full 4K window. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna expand this all the way so you can see clearly exactly what I'm gonna be trying to do. So this is the part where we now go into the process of, I guess, cleaning up, grading. So we're beginning step 3 now. Here's the clip, right? This is what we're dealing with. It could use a little bit of work. So let's go here, select the clip, click on color. You've got the clip selected. The first thing I want to do is white balance. So I go ahead, select the eyedropper. Oh, actually before I do that, make sure you always work with adjustment layers. So I go back to assembly here, I right click, go back to the project, right click, new item, adjustment layer, boom. Click OK, enter. Drag and drop this right into the timeline. As now the actual edit that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing it to the adjustment layer itself. So we press that. Now we go to color. Just the best practice. You don't want to do it to the clip, because it could be that you have a bunch of clips from the same setting, same sequence, same lighting, everything. So all you got to do is apply the color grade or correction or the Lumetri settings to that adjustment layer, and thus it'll apply to all the clips that the adjustment layer is hovering over, as you can see here. So if I were to just drag it over, this will be applied to here and over here. So when it comes to the white balance correction, first thing I like to do is I'll actually do the correction to the clip. So I highlight the eyedropper, and then I select the thing, and then boom, everything is white balance. Control Z. Try that again. White balance, select the eyedropper, boom, and now we have essentially a white balanced clip. And now what I'll do is I'll go to the adjustment layer, and I'll start doing the color grade right here. What do I want to do? there's a couple of things, a couple of options. I look at the Lumetri scopes, right? When dealing with the Lumetri scopes, I'll notice that the shadows are quite lifted and there's still a lot of space up above. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead straight to curves, or actually before I go to, I'll go straight to curves because, and then from here, I just kind of play around with it, right? So these are the shadows, these are the highlights. So I go ahead and select that, bring that in, and I kind of stretch that over. Not that pretty of an image yet, right? So let's also try to punch, pop the colors a little bit. If I go to curves, and from here, let's look at the reds. So select general red area, and I will try to boost that color. Boom, there you go, pop out that red a little bit more. Same thing with the blues. Select that, pop that out a little bit more, make the jeans stand out a tiny bit. And that way he's a little bit more colorful. So how we started and how we ended. Although the white balance is technically correct, I want it to be actually a little bit warmer. So I'm just going to drag that over into a warmer tone. This is where I want it to be. And then from here, I'll go over to the effects control panel, click on Lumetri, click Control C, go right over to the next clip, Control V, boom. All the white balance is applied because I know it's the same setting. And in fact, another smart thing would have been is to apply that white balance to an adjustment layer, but it's just the way I am approaching this right now for the moment. Now we'll go back to another dark scene. In this situation, let's apply the white balance. So I already have it pasted, so it's Control V. And you'll notice things are a little bit white. I want to actually give it a little bit more warmer tone in terms of the color. So what I'll do is I'll move things to the warmer side, and let's see what we can do with the exposure on this bad boy. So reset this image. This is the actual image right here. So, and you look at the Lumetri, and it's actually really, really dark, obviously. So let's boost the exposure as high as possible, and you'll notice that it is a very, very noisy image. So also want to bring out the colors a little bit. So let's go to curve. Let's start with the blue this time because that is the dominant color in the scene. So let's boost the blues a little bit, and you know what, I want to extend the blue. So just so you can press Control on the keyboard and hit the dot and it'll cancel it out. So you press here, right? Let's say I messed up, I can press Control, hit the dot, boom, it removes it. So the blues there. Let's also boost the red a little bit and select that, and red is also boosted. So this is before, this is after. Now you'll notice you're like, hey, this is a very noisy image. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Welcome to the last and final step, which is applying noise reduction and exporting the video out. So a couple things. In order to apply noise reduction, you're going to need something called Neat Video Noise Reduction. It's a plugin that is available for Premiere and other editing platforms, and it is very good. So I would highly suggest that you get it. I've been using it for years, and this is my go-to for that. Here's the trick to applying noise reduction. Because it's very system intensive to do so, what you want to do is for each clip that you're going to be applying noise reduction to, you want to go ahead and create a frame grab of that scene. So in this case, let's go ahead and go to the beginning of this. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on create export frame, and then select where I'm going to save that to. Save it into the same project directory as this, just in the root folder. Say OK, import into projects. Okay, click OK, boom. And from here, I just go ahead and drag that screenshot right into the thing, right? That's number one. Number two, same thing. Let's go to effects, reduce noise, apply it to the frame grab. Let's do the same thing to each one at a time, or you could highlight all of them, right? And then drag and drop, that's fine. And then from here, let's go to effects controls. Make sure your thing is set to full. Click on prepare, and then count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and now build, right? And then a dialog thing is going to pop up, something similar to this. What you want to do is select a uniform area for the most part, something like this. Size good, noise levels 5.4, build profile, right? And then you go to adjust and preview. From here, what I like to do is apply a little bit of sharpening, and then I go to maybe 80% here, 160% there, and apply the noise reduction. I click on apply, boom. I go on to the next frame. Here we go, the by sequence, prepare. And then build in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, build. Okay, now we just selected the sky. Noise level is 25.5. What about other parts? 27.5. All right, that's fine. 25.4. Build profile. Adjust and preview. Dang, yo. Actually, what I want to do. So you'll notice. So one thing I'm noticing here is that there's a lot of color, right? A lot of different colors. Let's eliminate one of these colors. So I'm going to eliminate this. We're going to have to recreate a frame. And then this original adjustment layer, go to color. And we're gonna go in here and go to curves, and then we're gonna go in there and tone down the green as best as possible, right? So we can eliminate the amount of unnecessary color, maybe even purple, right? So take this, tone down the purple. So I think this is good enough, right? Now let's go back to assembly. Let's take a screen grab of this right here. Boom, import into project. Click OK, and then take that thing and drag it over. Apply the noise reduction pair in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, build. Boom, and let's see if that made a difference. Let's see, there we go, 19.1. Build profile, adjust and preview. There we go. Yeah, I mean, we were able to reduce the amount of noise that was there by a little bit. Now let's go ahead and enable sharpening. Bump this over to 80%, 160, and there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this effect, and first of all we're going to basically make that layer invisible, and then make this layer invisible as well. But we're going to copy and paste. So Control C, copy paste into the other layer as well. So Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control. Now the reason I do it this way, is because I want to minimize the amount of resources the computer needs. I'm only applying it to one frame, but now as soon as I enable, what's it called? As soon as I enable the noise reduction, watch is gonna come into play. But you'll notice that the bar over here is red. That means the noise reduction is applied. Now it's just a matter of the computer just kind of sitting there and being like, all right, let's go ahead and apply this effect across the entire timeline. While it does that, you can sit there and wait, or you can trust that the process that you applied works. So let's assume the process I applied worked. I'm just going to go ahead and export this file. So just go ahead and go to File, Export, or you can do Control M. And then your dialog thing comes up. It's 27 seconds long, no biggie. Just go ahead and save this in the directory that the root. So I'm going to go to my 2022 folder, EOS M, Final, and then click on EOS M Low Light. Bam! It's already 4K in terms of the timeline, so it's going to export at 4K. Render setting, render depth at maximum depth. In terms of bitrate, I just go to constant bitrate at 100 megabits per second. Use maximum quality, use previews, and let's queue that up. And once after that, I'm just gonna go ahead and press render, and let's play back this footage in terms of what it looks like. Where you going, man? Where you going, man?